gone back. Kevin Doyle's injury is updating him is that it's been cleaned out. It's actually doing well, and he will. I think he's travelling back tomorrow. I think he just wanted a few extra days so that it made sure that it wasn't infected in any way. And he's missing, naturally, and Daryl Murphy has gone back as well too. And Walters as well, absolutely, yeah.
How much of all those injuries disrupted what you planned, what you were trying to do in these games?
Well, it's been a bit of a disruption, yes, of course. I was probably thinking that Robbie Keane would be involved at some stage or another in one of the two games. And I really thought that John Walters would probably be fit as well too. So, yes, it was a bit of a disruption, but these things happen.
You mentioned Robbie Keane there. If he's... Would you be interested in taking him to France even if he's not in your 23?
You mean as an
influence on the squad with the
well, I think if Robbie was, I haven't thought about that, I must admit, but
you've only got one fit striker, recognised striker in Shane Long.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on who you might use in and around him for this
game?
Well,
we can adjust things. James McLean has played up front before. I've seen him play for Wigan there, where he's done exceptionally well. And so I think that we can change things around anyway. Yeah.
Jack Butland has got an injury for England, which means that Shay Given is probably going to play most of the rest of the season, possibly for Stoke. He's certainly got an opportunity. You've got a lot of cover already in the goalkeeper's position, but does Shay Given now have a chance if he's playing to make your squad?
Absolutely.
Slovakia game and pick your brains, take you out for dinner. He says he's paying. Is that something you're okay with, meeting up with Chris, maybe with Roy Hodgson as well?
Oh, I wouldn't. I seriously would not have a problem with that. There, I met Chris beforehand when we were playing Bosnia, and he was, he gave me a lot of information about their particular trip to Bosnia at the time and how it transpired. Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem in terms of giving him the lowdown in anyone. I think he would be, and I don't think he would be relying on me. Probably would be Bosnia as well too. So I don't think it's a recipe. I would obviously want to try and score a few more goals if we can. I'd like us to try and maybe in possession just be a wee bit more confident with ourselves in doing that. There was a little spell just in the second half against Germany where I thought we did exceptionally well in that, culminating in the goal. So, but we've got good confidence. These games are just while we still want to win them, and they're important in terms of coefficients and such things like that. It's a wee bit of trial as well too at the same time.
Martin, can I just ask you, what's your understanding of the latest with Shay? I understand he's back training, but he hasn't actually appeared on the bench yet for Stoke. Have you an update as such?
No, I think that John Walters was just filling us in and saying that he thought that he was just getting back to really full training now. So if this is a spur to him now to feel as if he's got a chance, well done. But I'll get an opportunity now to speak to him in the next 24 hours.
Martin, have anybody else to come in? Any other injury news from this morning?
And I just thought you'd want to hear what he had done the other night, how well he had done.
I think he spoke after the game.
Did you? I'm so sorry.
We'll get something else.
What? Here,
Sit back and
disappear immediately. I do apologise. At some stage or another, maybe Hayes and O'Kane again, possibilities. I'll just have a real think about it now. But players who've been around now for the last 7 or 8 days, I would like to. I'm sure that they would like to try and get some time in the field. Might not be possible for everyone, but at least they've felt a type of involvement with the squad.
And just in terms of the attacking options, is Wes Hoolan someone who could possibly start?
I think Wes has a good chance of starting, of course. Yeah, he has.
Owen. Hi, Kieran.
I should have brought Wes with me.
You played quite a few games for Ireland this year. Club form hasn't been so good. did you feel on Friday that you were playing your way into the team for France, or was it more about getting into the squad?
I just think that, to be honest, everyone's trying to do their best just to try and impress and try and force their way into that 23. Through whatever reason, it's been a bit up and down this season for me at club level. But to come away and play over here is obviously brilliant for me, and it was obviously a brilliant result, and that was the main thing at the end of the night.
Kieran, let me just ask you about Villa this season. It's been a tough
Season. How frustrating is it for you to be on the bench more often than starting?
Yeah, every player wants to play, and to be on the bench is frustrating. But I just work hard in training and try and keep my head down, and just keep doing the best I can, and hopefully try and take the chance when it comes.
Kieran, the faith that Martin has shown in you, in playing you even though you're not playing an awful lot for your club side, does that make it a very different atmosphere when you come here? Is it actually nice to get away from Villa and the atmosphere there at the moment?
Yeah, it is. It's nice to come away and meet up with the boys and the staff, and it's a different atmosphere, and when we play the games, we'll love to try and do our best and enjoy it, and the atmosphere around the place is always brilliant. There's obviously a great bond between the players and the staff, and it's really nice to come away.
Kieran, you and Shane linked up very well for the goal the other night. Do you think goals is something you can bring to the squad as well as your defensive responsibilities?
I don't know. Well, we get put in the positions we get put in. Set pieces are obviously vital now in this day. But yeah, we get put in the positions we're in, and I think when you're in the box, it's just about trying to be in the right place at the right time. And I was lucky enough to be there in the right place and the other night.
It's 5 questions. You're doing all right. Considering you're not playing tomorrow.
I'll shift tack.
What?
I'll shift tack. The gaffer. Martin. Oh, it's not working. Sorry, it is. You said it to us on Friday night. You didn't want to be scaremongering, which is a lovely word in relation to Robbie Keane, and you stressed that you didn't want to be and you weren't. Can you give us the specifics of his injury, and is it a concern? He's got 8 weeks between now and the Holland game. Are you sure that everything's going to be okay?
Oh, I think he feels. Yeah, I think that he was concerned about it because any real worries. Now, obviously, we will know when he goes back there. He'll let us know what's happening in the next couple of days. But I think that no, I don't think that he is overly concerned. No, not at the moment. No, until I get the medical prognosis of it all. Then I just have to wait and see.
Martin, with 2 full games to go, and maybe I could ask you or Ian if you do have an update on the plans for Cork at this stage as well. But in terms of looking ahead to the Dutch game in comparison to these 2 matches, is it in your head that you would be playing something close to your starting 11, that it would be more like a full dress rehearsal, the Dutch game, as opposed to the mix and match that you're doing in these games?
I think from afar, I think that was the way I would be looking at it. I mean, it might change a wee bit by that time. That, of course, I'll have a better idea who has finished their season at whatever given time. At this minute, I would agree with you. I think that we'd be looking pretty well close to what we have.
And can I just get an update if there is anything on the opposition for that Cork game?
Yeah, Liam, we're not ready to announce just yet. We're just at the final phase, so a fairly advanced stage, but hopefully something this week.
Had you always planned on a game, Martin, between Holland and going to France, or is this something that you thought about afterwards?
No, the honest answer is no. We thought that those players who would have had a long season, let's say the players in the Championship, yourself or your family or whatever you're going to do, if that's the case, then I really thought a wee bit more about it. And the Dutch game comes into consideration, which is towards the end of May. And then you're still thinking about, a 13 or 14 day period then after that. 17 days, exactly. Now, our intention was always we could play 11v11s or whatever else that we could organise down around Cork. And it wasn't at the point when we thought about it, first of all, wasn't overly concerned, and then I thought, well, that is a fairly lengthy time, not first thought, but then after that, I thought, well, yeah.
Martin, just asking in terms of these two games, the Dutch game and between now and then, how do you feel the competition for places, not just in your 11, but in the squad itself for the summer, can help the group overall, that every player probably knows that if they're not doing their stuff, they might not be on the plane?
You mean down at club level?
No, I just mean even in the player in the squad who's been in the squad, how do you feel that competition can individually help you to make sure you're doing your stuff, I suppose?
Yeah, it's obviously pushing everyone. Me personally, obviously, I just want to keep trying my best, and like I said, there's a lot of competition now, and there's still a lot of football to be played this season. There's a lot more games, and it's a funny game. You never know what's around the corner, and for me, I'm just going to take each game as it comes and each week as it comes, and hopefully, come the end of the season, still be fit and ready to go.
If you think about it, that we have 6 centre backs with us at this moment, so Paul McShane hasn't had much time, and young Pearce is not playing regularly now at this.
Do you envisage somebody doing something in that game that could influence your thinking, or is it just a precaution that people come through unscathed injury-wise? And secondly, you're talking about Robbie's possible role in the summer. I assume if he's in the squad, that will be because you feel he can make an impact on the pitch rather than anything else he brings.
Of course, yeah, I do feel that, secondly. And the other one, I take your point. I think that would be very, very late on then.
To see from them that will help you shape your decisions?
Well, first of all, they have qualified themselves, so that in its sense, I think they'll be preparing, excuse me, roughly in the same way as we're doing. Maybe having a look at some players, a bit like the Swiss did the other night, but they've qualified. So it's not as if to say that they're out of the competition and preparing for a World Cup coming up in September time. I think their thoughts would be very much like the teams that have qualified, the Swiss ourselves and themselves. So we bit of maybe one or two of the senior players, maybe 1 or 2 players that have been around the squad a wee bit. I think that their preparations will be quite similar to our own. So from that viewpoint, I think.
Is that the extent of it? There's nothing tactical about the way they set up or anything like that, or specific players that particularly give you a guidance for games?
No, I wouldn't, because they may want to change. I mean, for instance, that you had asked me the other day about the 4-4-2 that we played the other evening, and that was really because I wanted to start Shane Long, and I wanted to start Kevin Doyle. So, but no, and I don't think that now in this particular month that I just think that they would be experimenting with different tactics and such things like that. That's what I expect anyway, and hence we haven't gone into any phenomenal detail about Slovakia, as we didn't do with with the Swiss, because I knew that they would eventually change their side around.
Martin, sorry, I didn't mean to ask.
No, so it's not a problem.
We lost only 1 game in 11. We've beaten 3 teams above us in the world rankings: Germany, Bosnia, and the Swiss. Another one tomorrow night, another team above us in the world rankings. Do you sense there's momentum building for the Euros at the right time?
Well, it is. I think still it is nice to go into games having won them rather than having lost them, because you won't feel great about it. As we were saying the other day to ourselves, that coming on Saturday morning was a nicer feeling having won the game, but we've still got a lot of work to do. I think genuinely feel that. I know we could do a wee bit better in possession of the ball, just have that confidence to say the players are capable of doing it. It's just having that self-belief again. And I just think the competition itself be totally different. It's tournament competition out there, games in relatively quick succession. Just think it'll be a bit different. I'm only thinking about my own days way back, and football hasn't changed that much in the last 25 years. But it is better.
The back of Kevin Doyle's injury,
Mm-hmm.
and I know these things can happen. You talk about coming through unscathed through the night. I mean, have you a heightened fear, even though these are friendlies, of the risks involved for players, given what happened to Kevin the other night? And is there anything?
Been disappointed to have lost him. So you think how the club managers are feeling at this moment more than myself. But we have to play the games, otherwise it's, you know, you don't play the matches. Let's say you didn't play the games, player goes to this club, gets injured the following week, and you think, well, you know, should have done it. So nothing really I can do about it.